Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the Technical Assistance Tuesday for the CEJA programs. Today we have Linda Larson with us, who is going to be sharing some more information, if you didn't get a chance to hear about it earlier, about the regional data packets and some of the research she's been doing related to the program and just informational purposes that will hopefully serve as some guidance and useful information to everybody on the call today as we continue to work with employers and for year two, right size our next year programs and partnerships with all of our employers and partners. So thank you. Go ahead, Linda.
Good morning. I am going to share my screen with everyone. It's good to see all of you. Oops. Let's see, present here. Okay. I don't know how many of you attended the webinar I gave a few weeks ago. This webinar is going to be sharing some of the same information with a focus on how you'll use some of the tools that the Climate Jobs Institute has developed to support your programs. So I'm the Associate Director for Research at the Climate Jobs Institute. We're a relatively new institute that's funded by the state of Illinois to support the clean energy transition. We inform Illinois clean energy transition through research that foregrounds workers and their communities, and the resources and tools and reports we develop guide state policy to reduce emissions and to promote high quality job creation. Some of you may know me from some of the previous work that I did to support DCEO and launching the CEJA programs. And part of that experience led me to want to develop some resources for all of you. Some of the resources that we've developed have been directly with all of you in mind. Basically, some of the things I wanted to know were what would be helpful for all of you in developing your programs and applying for funding. I just want to emphasize the importance of data and tools. What we've tried to do at the Climate Jobs Institute is to make these tools accessible. The importance of data and tools can't be overstated. They can help us allocate resources equitably, identify needs and burdens, track progress, inform decision-making, evaluate programs, develop proposals, and ultimately hold governments accountable. So as I mentioned, the experience that I've had supporting CEJA program implementation very much informed the tools that I'm going to be showing you today. Some of the questions we sought to answer: what clean energy jobs already exist? Are there regional differences in where the jobs are? Where is the training? Where are the employers? How can we connect the two? How can we better understand community needs? Where are the upcoming clean energy projects? How many jobs will we need? What jobs will be lost from fossil fuel plant closures? And what we've done here with the tools we've developed is gathered existing data to answer these questions and then try to make them more accessible through tools and resources. So generally, these tools can be used to make connections with other union, employer, training, and workforce providers. Can help communities plan for clean energy workforce development by learning about existing regional assets and existing and planned energy infrastructure. We have identified where projects are planned and where workforce is needed. And we've created some rough estimates of job needs. And I want to emphasize that these tools are just a start. As you grow your programs, you'll likely need to follow up with employers and project developers to get a better sense for the job needs of your region. And we're also hoping ultimately that these tools we'll be able to strengthen grant proposals. We already have some folks that have told us that they've used these tools in their proposals. So the three tools I'm going to be talking about today are the regional data packets, and big thank you to the CEO for helping spread the word about these. The CEJA map, which I hope you've all been using. We developed this map with DCEO, started working on it before I left the DCEO implementation team, and the Climate Jobs Institute continues to update this map. And then finally, the electric power capacity mapping tool, I'll be sharing that as well. So how can these tools be used generally? So I've provided three examples of how these tools could be used. First of all, when writing a grant, often you are asked to document the need. This list here comes directly from a CEJA workforce grant notice of funding opportunity, where grant applicants were asked to identify service area, including the equity investment eligible communities, describe the economic and social conditions, describe the barriers that the populations face, describe clean energy employment needs and targeted occupations, describe existing training opportunities and gaps, and the expected impact on target populations. We know that's a lot to ask of grant applications. And so what we wanted to do here with these tools is provide you some data to help you answer these questions. In terms of program development, you are all at the early stages of developing your programs and starting to train participants. So we're hoping that our tools can help you form partnerships and understand the needs of your regions. So who are the employers and training providers in your region? Who might you connect to? What are their job needs? What are the planned projects in your region? What apprenticeship opportunities are available? What communities will you target for outreach and recruitment? And then broader community workforce planning. I imagine that many of you are involved, have been working with other workforce agencies and community economic planning folks to understand the existing jobs, identify major businesses, planned infrastructure, job losses. So what are those focus areas that need to be addressed? All right, I'm going to show you a few of the tools that we've developed, and then I'm happy to answer questions about the tools. So I'm going to start with the regional data packets. I'll be sharing an example here from the central region. So generally what we wanted to do with these regional data packets is provide a snapshot of the clean energy jobs in the region, the training programs and apprenticeships, the employers and the unions, the projects, especially related to solar and wind, and then the fossil fuel job losses that are anticipated in those regions. And you can see here the different regions. These are DCEO economic development regions. So the example I'm showing you here is the central region, which would include, for folks on this call, it would include the Decatur hub and any training that you're providing in Springfield. So data sources aren't perfect, and I'll say like these numbers are estimates. We used data from the U.S. Energy Employment Report. They provide annual numbers, annual survey of the clean energy jobs. And we've collected information about clean energy jobs in these three sectors. So electric power generation, this would include solar and wind, and I'll be digging into that a little bit, transmission, distribution, and storage jobs, and then energy efficiency. So this U.S. Energy Employment Report does provide county level data counts for clean energy jobs in solar and wind. You can take a look at some of the jobs. So a lot of jobs in Sangamon County, fewer jobs in Macon County where the hub is. And again, um, these are probably not as accurate as we would hope, and we're actually working on trying to get better estimates of the job opportunities. So clearly, though, we need some work in Macon County to grow solar workforce. We do have a number of wind jobs in Macon County and Sangamon County. The region has 4% of the state's solar and wind jobs, proportional to its population, but we note here that it has 15% of the state's planned wind and 15% of the state's planned solar. So this suggests that this region, we need a lot more solar and wind jobs. We also list jobs for transmission, distribution, and storage. There's quite a few jobs here that are already existing. And then energy efficiency. Again, if we're focused on Decatur area, fair number of traditional and high efficiency HVAC jobs in the region already. We also wanted to capture the number of registered apprentices in the building and construction trades. We got this from the U.S. Department of Labor Registered Apprenticeship Partner Information Database System. And again, you can see a fair number of apprentices, active apprentices in the construction trades. A lot of the Illinois clean energy work that's being done right now is in the construction and building trades. And you can see quite a few apprentices, active apprentices in Sangamon County as well. We list the registered apprenticeship programs that are in the region, and I'll note that I'll be showing you the locations and more information about those apprenticeship programs on the CEJA map. And then finally, once we start looking at training, we have a number of CEJA and FEJA grantees in this region, including Richland Community College. Some of you may be on this call, Energy Transition Navigator Program. And then generally, we've got more statewide or region-wide programs that serve this area as well. The Craft Apprenticeship Program serves this area, and the Climate Works Pre-Apprenticeship Program serves this area as well. One of the questions that I've often wanted to know, and so we wanted to provide this information, is how many people live in these target communities that you're required to prioritize in your outreach and placement into the programs. So we calculated the number of people that are living in environmental justice communities and R3 communities. You can see here that we've got probably close to 150,000 people living in an environmental justice community, and I'm going to be bad here at my math, but over 300,000 people living in Restore, Reinvest, Renew population, and only about 50K are overlap. So that may help you as you prioritize. Interestingly, the total population in this region is 520,000, and 335,000 of them live in one of these communities. So this shows, again, a large number of people in this region are going to qualify for your programs. Want to note, and again, we were just trying to gather, like, what are the existing regional assets of this region? You can see there's a number of community college programs that relate to clean energy careers or that could lead to community or lead to clean energy careers. There's available programs in mechanical and repair technology, so HVAC, vehicle maintenance, electrical maintenance and repair technology, engineering technologies, construction trades. And again, if you look at the CEJA map, you can find the location of these programs and more information about them. There's also a few higher education or vocational training programs. If you are encountering participants who are interested in pursuing higher education as a way to enter a clean energy career, there's a number of colleges in this region that provide training in areas that are often associated with clean energy careers, and you can see here. We've also listed some vocational training programs as well. Again, one of the outcomes, a successful outcome of the CEJA programs is to help direct participants into additional training if they want to pursue one of these careers. And then finally, we wanted to start identifying some of the businesses that are in the central Illinois region. This was a little bit difficult. One of the things that we struggled with is that some of these clean energy employers operate statewide or even nationwide, and some of them are very local. It was hard to get a sense for which businesses operated where. This data is based on their business address, and we gathered data from the Illinois Commerce Commission, their certified solar installers, their EV charging installers, their utility scale solar installers, and energy efficiency installers. Those are the businesses that participate in the state's energy efficiency programs. So you can see here we've got a fair number of energy efficiency installers here, some solar installers as well, although most of them are in the Sangamon area, the Springfield area, and not the Decatur area. A few businesses that do EV charging installation, and then some manufacturers of clean energy projects. So we'll show you where those are as well when we look at the map. Wanted to list some of the major labor unions in the construction and building trades that operate in the region. Again, CEJA has a lot of programs that support union labor jobs. So important, I think, for CEJA grantees to connect with the labor unions and the employers that work with them. And then I took information from the Illinois Power Agency applications and the U.S. Energy Information Administration to identify the installed solar capacity in the region. You can see the major counties and the type of solar here. And then the planned solar capacity. I want to note that your rooftop solar, we don't really have a lot of data on this because the installations aren't planned far in advance and people don't submit applications to IPA beforehand. So what you largely see here is planned utility scale and community or large scale projects. So we've got a lot of some pretty large utility scale projects scheduled for Sangamon and Christian County, and new applications are being submitted all the time. So we'll be updating these data packets about every 6 months to try to account for some of those new installations. Here's wind. We've got some operating wind, and we've got some planned wind in Logan and Cass County. And so the hubs, in this region may want to reach out to the employers to see what kind of employment needs there are. We've created a very rough estimate of projected jobs based on the number of planned solar and wind projects using data from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. Again, I want to emphasize that um, you'll want to reach out to the developers and the installers of these projects to get a better estimate of the workforce needs for these planned projects. And then the little pie charts generally show the breakdown of jobs. So a lot of the solar jobs that are created are going to be in the construction industry. Over half of all jobs created are going to be construction jobs. Although there will also be professional services needed and other jobs. And then finally, with wind, you see, again, a good chunk of those jobs are construction, but you also have more operations and maintenance jobs in the wind industry and manufacturing jobs. We looked at electric vehicles registered by county to just get a better sense for what's the uptick on electric vehicle purchases and how are these areas going to need to prepare for an influx of electric vehicles, build out their infrastructure. So you can see there's a fair number, but these numbers are still relatively small in the central Illinois region. And then we looked at plant and mine closures in each region. Not every region has these closures, but the central Illinois region has quite a few. So in the last 6 years, we've seen some plant and mine closures or reductions that have led to a significant job loss. And then there will be a coal power plant closure that will be retiring in 2027. And you can see the estimated job loss number for that. So this is a big opportunity for this region to reach out to the displaced energy workers and to find opportunities in the clean energy workforce and provide other support. So we end with just some general conclusions about the workforce needs in this region. Okay, so I wanted to show you the CEJA map in case, like many people, you open it up and all you see is what's displayed. I wanted to just give you an overview of how to use the map and how I hope that you'll play around with it and figure out what tools will be best, what layers will be best for you. When you open up the CEJA map, what you can see here is you can go to the little legend here on the right to see what layers are displayed. So right now, we've displayed 3 layers. We've displayed the CEJA grants awarded. The red dots are economic development grants, and then the blue dots are workforce grants. So if we go, let's just stick with Decatur. We'll go to the Decatur region here. Peoria, Decatur. You can see the R3 communities in orange. You can see the environmental justice communities and some overlap as well. And then you can see the CEJA grants, who received the funding and how much. Springfield, this is also in the central region. You can see that they've received some grant funding for economic development. They received energy transition community grants. Community Solar Energy Sovereignty Grant Program. There's a project there that has received funding. So yeah, I'd recommend that these are the three layers that we wanted to show right off the bat because we feel like they're the ones that people need right away. But we also have a number of other grants or layers that you can use that we hope will be helpful as you develop your programs. And you can see which layers are visible by going to this little layer icon on the left. You click on that, and then the ones that have the little eye, those are the ones that show up. And then you have this little icon that shows that these aren't showing up. So if we wanted to see the coal plant and mine closures, we could go here. So here is the Kincaid generation plant that's planned to be closed in 2027. You can see a little bit about how big it is. Here is the Viper mine that was reduced. Employment was reduced back in 2020. So you can get a sense for where those closures are. I recommend clearing some of these. If you just keep on adding layers, it can get really messy fast. So I often will just display one or two layers at a time instead of trying to show everything at once. So the layer I'm showing you right now is the employer layer. So these little dots each represent a business in the central region. You can tell the different colors represent different types of clean energy employers. So the red dots here are the energy efficiency businesses. You can click on a dot and find out a little bit about it. If we had information like websites, if that was publicly available from the Illinois Commerce Commission, we included that. So, you know, if you're providing training in energy efficiency, these are the employers that you might want to contact to see if they have job openings or to see the kind of training that they could use support with. You can see a lot of heating and plumbing, mechanical and refrigeration installer. So that could be helpful, again, depending on the type of training that you provide. You can just look at the distributed generation. You can see here that there's quite a few fewer solar companies that are based in the Decatur region. Again, there's companies that serve this region, but they may not have addresses based in this region. So you can click again on the company on the dot and find out a little bit more about it. If you go over to Springfield, you can see there's quite a few more solar companies in this region. And then if we click on electric vehicle charging, again, we have some businesses in the Springfield area, but very few in the Decatur area. And look and see that we've got 3 in this area. And then finally, clean energy manufacturing. We have a glass manufacturer in the region that does solar PV panels, glass for those panels. And then we've got another one up here, steel track, rail. That's considered a clean energy technology because public transportation, including rail and buses, are a lot more efficient than some of the more the transportation technologies that have more greenhouse gases. So again, we hope that this will, you'll be able to use this to connect with these employers, to see what's available in your region and who you might reach out to place people in jobs. For some of your programs, those of you involved in the Climate Works pre-apprenticeship program, you will want to connect with the registered apprenticeship programs in the construction trades. We have listed, we've listed here the registered apprenticeship programs in your area. Some of these are union labor apprenticeship programs. Some of them are not. They're more single employer apprenticeship programs. Here's a single employer one. And then we've got Ameren, Illinois, alignment apprenticeship, local 51. This is an IBEW, electrical workers apprenticeship program. And we have provided some information, if we've been able to locate it, that can help you reach out to them. So again, I'd recommend that you use this tool, click on these little icons and see if you can find information about it. Sheet metal workers. All right, community colleges. Here we have put information about related programs that prepare people for clean energy jobs. They might not actually get a clean energy job after they graduate from one of these programs, but I thought it would be helpful to see the programs that are providing this. So Richland, if you go to Springfield, you can see Lincoln Land College and some information about that. Higher education programs. Here we've got University of Illinois Springfield. We provide some information about the types of programs they offer that are related to or could lead to clean energy jobs. And then we also wanted to provide information about the Illinois WorkNet centers. As you develop your program, you'll likely want to connect to the WorkNet, the American Job Centers in the area, to see how you can coordinate, how you can provide referrals. So you can find out information here about those WorkNet centers. We also have just included these economic development regions and local workforce innovation areas. So if you want to see these economic development regions that we talked about, you can click on them and you can find out who's the region development manager. You can connect to them and say, hey, I'm interested in finding out what the regional economic development needs are, and it would be good to coordinate with them again. And likewise, the workforce innovation areas, these are again region-wide networks to help manage workforce and do workforce planning, and you can see who's a good contact person to connect with your region. Finally, if you're putting together a grant application, it may help to see the county boundaries. You can toggle those boundaries off and on, and you can also toggle off and on census tracts, and then click some information, click on these census tracts to find out a little bit of information about them. For the county boundaries, we have simply listed the population. But if you go to the census tracts, you can find out a little bit of information about that census tract. So you can see the median household income, You can see the percentage who've received at least a high school diploma, the percentage living below the 100% poverty level, and then total population. So if you go click on Decatur here, here's a little snapshot of some of the different areas of Decatur. And that information could be helpful as you decide what areas you want to target for your programs. So again, the two buttons that I find most useful here are this layer list and the census tract list. Or sorry, the layer list and the this is the legend here. So click on those and you can select which layer you want to use, and then you can look at the legend to find out a little bit of information about those layers. Okay, the last tool I wanted to show you, and I'll just go over this very briefly, is the electric power capacity mapping dashboard. This is a nationwide dashboard, but you can click on just Illinois to find out more information about the large scale solar and wind and other power plant infrastructure in your area. This doesn't cover the very small scale or residential solar. If we did that, this would be completely blue, completely orange. So just want to note that this won't show everything, but it does show the major above 1 megawatt installations. Again, if you click on this, you'll see some familiar icons. The layers show you what is visible and what you can look at. So if you want to look at just proposed solar, let's look at proposed wind too. You can see the different installations, and then you can click on them and find out a little bit about them. So what's the company name? Again, good to reach out. And you can also see the status. This one is planned for installation, but regulatory approvals have not been initiated. This might be a good one to say, okay, this is still a few years out. Planned operation year is 2029. What do we need to do to prepare to have workers ready for that installation? Here's in the Decatur region, we've got this Strata Clean Energy Prairie Oak Solar planned for installation. So again, the construction hasn't started on this yet, but and this would be a good one to be prepared for as you're thinking about workforce needs. You can also take a look at the other electrical power infrastructure in your area. Could look at proposed battery storage and other renewables. You can look at, I'm going to just turn off some of these. You can take a look at it. Battery storage, operating battery storage. You can look at the nuclear power plants in your area. You can look at geothermal, you can look at coal and natural gas. These plants most of the coal plants are going to be shut down or in the next few years. So again, preparing for closures would be helpful. So I'll definitely provide links to this that the team can share with all of you, but I wanted to just show you our website and how you can access all of these resources. If you go to our website, and I'll share this in the chat, you can click on our work, and here's our resource library. You click on the resources and tools, and this is what's available. You may also find some of our other resources helpful. We have reports that show that provides some analysis of the solar and wind workforce needs and other related projects. And then finally, we've got a few commentary pieces on Trump administration impacts on clean energy workforce in Illinois. So if you're interested in taking a look at that, we hope that will be helpful. Okay, I want to open it up to a few questions. I'd love to learn a little bit more about how you're using the tools and what you feel like could be helpful. So I'll stop sharing for a moment, and I'm happy to address any questions that you might have. Also be willing to, if you have questions or suggestions for how to make our tools and resources better, or what additional tools or resources you'd like to see, I'm happy to learn more about what would be helpful.
Thank you, Linda. I do see a question in the chat about the documents and website being available offline. Do you have links you want to share in the chat?
Is this document available offline on the CEJA website? Which document are you referring to? The data packets?
Yvette, feel free to come off mute.
Yeah.
She says it's on your website. Okay, she found it. I'm assuming
Okay.
that was the map. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, they're all working for me. If they're not, I'll put my email address in the chat, and we can troubleshoot, see what's going on. Have any of you used the tools? What have you used them for? Would love to just hear about how people are using them.
I've used the map before, and that's been really cool. I actually didn't know that there were so many different layers though, so I'm really excited to dig in with that. I
Yeah,
was going to ask if we do find like local companies that aren't on the map, who would we reach out to?
you can reach out to me, and I've been keeping a list of updates, so the next time that we need to update our map, we can add those companies. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, it's hard to, the energy employer one was it was hard to find that data. It's not always
Definitely.
publicly available, so we'd love to be able to accept additions.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions? Any other tools or resources or layers that you feel like would be helpful for your work? All right.
I'm really hoping, Linda, that the CEJA grantees will take advantage of, especially the employer layer, as
Mhm.
you continue to build that out. I think that the data is also really valuable in helping them understand how to align their programs with the projects that are available and currently, in the planning within their regions. So at least for me, it helps kind of bring all those pieces together. And then even explore, because I know another thing that all of our CEJA grantees are doing in some cases is transferring participants from one program to another. And so, if they wanted to, they could utilize this map to even advance that conversation with participants to say, well, if you go into climate works in this region, you can see that there are different opportunities here with these employers and these apprenticeship programs. So I think that it could just really enhance the conversations that they're having together amongst themselves as grantees, but also amongst the participants that they're working with to show them, the real live data to say, you're going into solar in central Illinois, and right now these are the strong jobs that are available. Or, maybe there's participants that are on the fence and that aren't really sure. Maybe they want to see some data like this. That might be the move that actually, pushes them into the field to say, okay, yeah, there is actually, maybe they don't see it in their community, but there are projects being planned that they will see. So for me, it's very reassuring, and I do appreciate all the good hard work that you've been putting into this map. And I know we've been talking often to provide you with some of the data on, grantees, where they're located and all of that. So I hope to continue updating you with that information as well. I would encourage all of our grantees that are listening today to take advantage of this information. And again, you heard it from Linda herself. She's looking to update it and improve it. CEJA is brand new for everybody. So let's take the opportunity while we can to continue to lay a strong foundation and share as much information as we can amongst each other so that we can have some good data out there to help guide our efforts and guide the work that we do.
Thank you, Diana.
Mhm.
I'm seeing a message from Jackie Daniel that you're receiving an error on the power capacity mapping. It appears to be working for me, but this is the link. If other people are having a hard time, I can double check and see if there's something on our end that we that's not working. If other people are having trouble, let me know. Okay, so that really link worked. Very good.
I'm curious though,
Okay.
is that the link that I originally had was from the website, so I know that's probably where most of the traffic is going to find the link, so it may be worth looking into.
And
Like
this was the Climate Jobs Institute website. Okay. I will double check, make sure our internal links are heading to the right place.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, appreciate all of the good work that you are doing and stay in touch. Being part of the team early on, it's really wonderful to see these programs up and running. And we want to hear from you about the research and the tools that would help you do your work. So feel free to reach out if you have some ideas.
Thanks again, Linda. Thanks everybody for joining today's TA session. We'll get all this information sent out to you. Enjoy your day.